The jail ordeal for the 10th former national skipper Sandeep Lamichhane has for the time being been over as he was released earlier yesterday against a bail amount of 2 million rupees. Accused of raping a 17-year-old minor, Lamichhane, if proven guilty, faces a prospect of at least 10 to 12 years behind the bars, while the next hearing on the case has been slated for 23rd of January later this month. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. The ruling alliance having a hard time reaching a consensus on power share. UML suspicious of foul play from Nepali Congress as lack of trust develops in the alliance. Industrial corridor in Sunsari's Morang and Rupandehi facing up to 11 hours of blackout on a daily basis. The industry is reeling under an unannounced load shedding of the NEA. Los Angeles police alleged of taking another black life as 31-year-old Keenan Anderson killed. LAPD charged of killing 2 more non-weds last week. And Napoli produced a sensational performance to thrash Juventus and moved 10 points clear in the bid for a first Serie A title since 1990. Nearly 3 weeks have passed since Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal assumed top executive post. Despite a crucial time lapse, he has not been able to give a full shape to the cabinet. Failure in management of aspirants within the ruling coalition has led to complications in the expansion of the Council of Ministers. Several talks between Prime Minister Dahal and government think tank UML Chair KP Sharma Oli have failed to reach a consensus. Analysts have said that increasing lack of trust in the coalition has contributed to the delay. After assuming office on 26th of December, Premier Dahal had assured of giving a full shape to the cabinet at the earliest. However, the Council of Ministers is yet to gain a full shape, while parties of the ruling coalition have yet to hold a joint meeting. Power deal on positions including Vice President and Deputy Speaker, among others, are yet to be concluded. Despite several parleys between Oli and Dahal, a concrete progress is yet to be made. The two parties are understood to have reached an agreement on UML bagging the President and the Speaker. However, UML is now concerned as the largest party of the House of Representatives, Nepali Congress, which extended its vote of confidence to Prime Minister Dahal, has also staked its claim for the President or the Speaker. Chief Ministers have been selected in all the 7 provinces. However, despite 8 ministers in the federal government, 4 are yet to be allocated their portfolios. In the given scenario, Maoist Centre has appeared flexible towards Nepali Congress and has begun talks of a government of national consensus. Sources have said that this development has also been discussed by the top brass, Oli and Dahal. In the meantime, leaders do not seem prepared to make open statements on the issue. While all the other parties of the coalition are prepared to join the government, they remain divided on the number of portfolios in their share and are awaiting consensus between UML and Maoist Centre. 2 aspirants have filed their candidacies in Province 1 for the post of Deputy Speaker. CPN UML has fielded Provincial Assembly member Srijana Danuar and Nepali Congress Leela Kumari Rai. Danuar has the support of CPN UML, Maoist Centre and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party and Janata Samajwadi Party. Rai has the backing of Nepali Congress and CPN Unified Socialists. Both of them are from Udaipur and were elected to the Provincial Assembly through the proportionate category. As per the agreement between the ruling alliance parties of Province 1, Maoist Centre and CPN UML have agreed to share the post of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Baburam Gautam of Maoist Centre has already been elected the Speaker. Analysts have expected Danuar to be elected to the post. The election for Deputy Speaker will be held today. Moving on, in our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces what could be the reason behind the provincial and federal governments not being able to gain a full shape. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
भागभण्डा नमिलेर यही भएर खिचातानी भइरहेको छ
आफ्नो मान्छे राख्नलाई सबै पार्टीले पनि प्रयास गरिरहेको होला नि
आफ्नो दलभित्रबाट कुन मान्छेलाई पठाउने भन्ने विषयमा पनि त्यहाँभित्रै पनि अलिकति केही स्वार्थ आयो भएको
नेताहरू सबै त्यहाँ मिलाउनु पर्ने भागभण्डा नमिलेको कारण नै
भागभण्डा मिलेको छैन त्यसै कारणले
अहिलेको सरकारमा जान धेरै दलहरू इच्छुक छन् त्यही भएर ढिलाइ भइराछ
अब त्यहाँ भागभण्डा मिलाउनु पर्ने पनि अवस्था होला
अब उहाँहरुको मन्त्रालयहरु पनि आफ्नो आफ्नो दलले भागभण्डा मिलाउने कामले गर्दाखेरि त्यो
भागभण्डा नमिलेर एकजुट भइरहेको छैन
5 वटा 6 वटा दल मिलेर सरकार बनाएका छन् अब यो विभिन्न भागभण्डाका खेलहरू अब भागभण्डा हुँदै होला
Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal and CPN-EML Chair KP Sharma Oli have been assuring of releasing Resham Chaudhary and others who were found guilty in the infamous Kantipur incident within a month. The case of Chaudhary, who was found guilty from both district and high courts, is now under the Supreme Court's jurisdiction. The convicts of murder charges under Supreme Court cannot be released, suggesting that despite the Prime Minister's public assurance of releasing Resham, the procedures could be complicated, to say the least. Prime Minister Dahal and CPN-EML Chair Oli have been assuring the release of Nagarik Unmukti Party's trustee Resham Chaudhary at the earliest. Chaudhary is behind bars for his involvement in the violent incident of Kailali. Legal experts have termed senior leaders of political parties airing such assurances on a case which is still in progress at the Supreme Court to seek the support of Nagarik Unmukti Party as unusual. Based on the legal provision existing, a convict serving sentence with the case underway at the Supreme Court cannot be released unless there are amendments in the existing laws. A Supreme Court precedent states that a case in progress under its jurisdiction cannot be withdrawn. Likewise, a report of the commission formed to investigate Kantipur incident has not been made public till date. 2 years have gone by since the case against Resham Chaudhary had reached the Supreme Court. However, the case has not been among the priorities of the apex body. Out of the 19 stranded Nepali nationals in Malaysia, 7 have managed to successfully return home. The 7 rescued Nepali nationals comprise Gorkha's Thakur Regmi and Kamal Babu Shrestha, Bhojpur's Baburam Bastola, Makwanpur's Ishwar Koirala and Bhuwan Koirala, along with Kailali's Kailash Lohar and Dhading's Babulal Bika. A manpower company in Sanepa, Lalitpur had sent these 19 Nepali nationals about 4 months ago. However, they were made hostage in the Malaysian city of Kelang. After their condition was reported in social media, the government had taken initiative for their release. Suspended national cricketer Sandeep Lamichhane was released on bail yesterday. However, the development has given way to a new debate in the country's judicial sector. Rape is considered a heinous crime by the country's laws, as there is no legal provision for a rape accused to be released on bail guarantee. However, Sandeep Lamichhane, who was under investigation and serving judicial custody in the case, has been surprisingly released on bail amount by the Patan High Court. The High Court verdict has also barred Sandeep Lamichhane from leaving the Kathmandu Valley and speaking to any media. He is also not allowed to make any contact with the alleged victim, and any attempts in this regard would be tantamount to his arrest again. Lamichhane, who has been accused of raping a minor, was released after posting a bail bond of 2 million rupees set by the Patan High Court. Responding to a review petition filed by Lamichhane, a joint bench of judges Dhruvaraj Nanda and Ramesh Dahal on Thursday had ordered the release of the suspended cricketer on a bail with conditions. The Kathmandu District Court on 4th of November had passed the order to send Lamichhane to the Sundhara-based central jail after a detention hearing. Lamichhane had moved the High Court challenging the verdict. Following the continuous pressure of the International Monetary Fund, the Nepal Rashtra Bank has begun preparations to reduce the cash margin on a few products. At a time when the nation is struggling with foreign reserve and banks have decided to reduce the interest rate, experts have warned of increase in imports with reduction in cash margin. To address the depleting foreign reserve, the central bank had imposed up to 100% cash margin for opening letter of credit (LC) for imports last year. Based on the arrangement, importers had to deposit amount equivalent to the cost of import at the bank. The decision had reduced imports, trade deficit, and improved the foreign reserve. The central bank, which had removed the cash margin on tiles and marbles, is now preparing to implement the decision in additional products as well. To give continuity to the situation, the NRB has embraced the policy of increasing the interest rate in the monetary policy of the ongoing fiscal. However, the NRB has accepted the persisting pressure on foreign reserve. The IMF had been pressurizing the central bank to remove the cash margin since last year, as it was against the NRB's decision to curb imports. Therefore, the NRB is understood to be making preparations to remove the cash margin on additional goods. Experts are of the opinion that such a decision should only be taken considering national economic and financial indicators instead of lobbying or pressure exerted from any entity. Decrease in interest rate on deposits makes the loans cheaper as well. Lower rates on loans and flexible policies on cash margins are likely to increase imports, leading to decrease in foreign reserve. Therefore, it is imperative for the Nepal Rashtra Bank to amend its policies with the objective of increasing the foreign reserve. The industrial corridor in Sunsari's Morong is facing up to 11 hours of blackout hours on a daily basis. With the advent of winter, Nepal Electricity Authority had started 11-hour load shedding in the industrial corridor without issuing any official notice. The corridor is facing blackout hours from 5 in the morning till 11 a.m. and again 5 in the evening till 10 p.m. on a daily basis. The businesses in the region have complained that the lack of electricity supply has greatly dented economic activities. NEA has started disruption of electricity supply up to 10 hours to a number of big industries. The industries have been reeling under an unannounced load shedding by the authority. The government in one place is urging the general public to increase power consumption. This led to many industries setting up heating plants in their factories. However, with the irregular power supply, these industries have now found themselves in the receiving end. The businesses in Rupandei have called the approach of the national power monopoly as an unannounced load shedding. A number of industries involved in the manufacturing of cement, iron rod, synthetics, among others, are dependent on heating plant. However, in the face of massive cut in power supply, the manufacturing has been greatly hampered. Once the heating plant is shut, it requires a considerably large amount of power to run the plant again, which in turn increases the production cost. According to the NEA, the country presently has a potential of producing 2,190 megawatts of electricity. However, since the advent of the winter, only 850 megawatts of energy is being produced. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. Here's today's question: what should be done to revive Sajha Publications that has been reeling under financial crisis? Your options are A. Free from politics, B. Probe financial irregularities, and C. Make it self-reliant. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Now, Russia's military has said it has captured the Ukrainian salt mine town of Solidar after a long battle, calling it an important step for its offensive. A spokesman said the victory would allow Russian troops to push on to the nearby city of Bakhmut and cut off the Ukrainian forces there. This, according to Ukraine, was a very confident and ambitious statement from Moscow, which they called an information noise, adding that the fight for Solidar was still going. The battle for Solidar has been one of the bloodiest of the war. The town is relatively small, with a pre-war population of just 10,000, and its strategic significance is debatable. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said barely any walls in Solidar remained standing, but avoided any reference to Russia's claim of control over the region. Regional Governor Pavlo Kirilenko had said on Thursday that 559 civilians, including 15 children, remained in Solidar and could not be moved out. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.